Hello everyone, for the second video of the day, I will be talking about Rings. Ring 3, in other words, made in 2017. And this is an American version, but not related to the Japanese version at all, to be honest. So, keep that in mind. So, this film, my opinion, was good at first, until went down a path towards the end that I did not agree with too much. Should have ended at a certain part, but it didn't. And the film itself is good, but a bad ending. That's my spin on it. So, before I go into the film, I'm going to read the synopsis. And the synopsis is a young woman, Julia, by the way, finds herself on the receiving end of a terrifying curse that threatens to take her life in 7 days. And that curse, I'll explain in more detail. She doesn't die in a way, but she turns into something else. That's all I gotta say on that subject. Before going into the movie deeply, please like my videos, subscribe to my channel, which is at HistoryBuff 2.0. I greatly appreciate it if you do that. Help me go a long way. And to help me reach my goal to 100 subscribers. If any of your friends likes movie reviews, the movies that they never seen before, horror or non-horror, doesn't matter, news, series, content, stuff like that, send them my way. They'll be entertained. And at the end of the day, I know I did my job as a YouTuber as best I could. Share my videos, comment down below, all the good stuff. Now, my friends, to Rings. This movie starts where it ends, kind of. It's weird. So I'll keep that in mind here. And this movie goes past the videotape into the digital age. So this main character who dodged Samara's wrath at first, at the end, which I'll explain way later, basically dies on a plane. I'm not saying how he dies on a plane. That would spoil the whole movie. Then goes back to the present day before all the stuff went down. John, I believe I say this correctly, like Johnny Krasinski. If you know him, he's from the Big Bang Theory, stuff like that. He's a professor studying urban legends, and he's teaching his students the myth of Samara, aka the tape. And somehow they made it digitalized in this film. Look, that part I did not mind. Some things have to be updated, cool. I didn't have no problem with that. Anyway, the curse still applies, digital or not digital. So the chick from Friday Night Lights, I hope I said it correctly, watches the tape, or digitally, doesn't matter at this point, on a flat screen TV, and when she's done watching it, she hopes to trick someone, but the person did not watch it, and that person didn't show up. So her 7 days were up, and then Samara came for her ass. Through the flat screen TV, she tried to unplug it through the wall, didn't, and it fell to the ground. But that didn't matter. Samara came out of that bitch and got that chick like no tomorrow. And the main protagonist, who got affected way later on, Julia, seen Samara, and she did not get hurt. She just basically dipped. And there's a reason for that. So her boyfriend and her tried to investigate it, while people around them died, who investigated it in the first place. All their friends died in weird ways by Samara, so they don't find out the truth too much. And Samara's a pain in the ass in this film, by the way. Not like the other two films. She's a real pain in the ass. And John Goodman is in this film too. And he plays the father to Samara. So when you reach Samara's father, he's blinded. And to prevent him from being killed, he blinds himself. But that doesn't stop Samara, though. It doesn't stop her. No. So Samara basically calls to Julia for a reason. And I'll backtrack here. So when Julia watches the video and gets the phone call, 7 days till you die, all that, something weird happens. The phone burns up like the old-fashioned phone, not the cell phones we have today, but the old-fashioned ones, the middle part, burns up and leaves a mark on her hand. That mark means something. I'm not going to say what yet. Not going to do that yet. That would spoil the whole point for the ending. So that thing leaves a mark, and when John Goodman explains it, it simply means the host, aka Samara, is looking for a new body to go into. That's all I gotta say on that. Until later down in the details. So, once they do, little by little, they all get killed off after investigating it. Even Leonard from the Big Bang Theory gets murdered by Samara at the same time, too. And this reaches the end point of this. I'm not going to read point by point. If you want to watch the whole thing, and tell me anything, go for it. But I'm going point by point by certain areas. I don't want to waste a lot of people's time. So, basically, when they think they stopped the curse, and after she kills John Goodman, something happens at this end of this movie that just pisses me off to a certain extent. I'm not gonna lie about it. As a horror fan, I did not like this ending. After they thought they stopped the curse, I'm not telling you how they stopped the curse. That just ruined the whole plot to it. To the good film. Well, they should have ended it, but they didn't. Simply, Julia wakes up, basically. Then, tries to take a shower and all that. This is where the movie should have been ended. It should have ended at a certain point, but it did not stop. Samara, basically, is all digital at this point, and spreads her video all throughout the internet. Sends it to her friends, to Julia's friends, to his friends, all the 9 yards. Then, to top of that, when she's done taking a shower, the mark on her hand means something. And I'm going to explain that now, basically. When she sees it's all white and wrinkly, try to peel it, she sees, how to say this correctly, older skin underneath hers. That's the best way I can describe it. It coughs up hair in her mouth. And when the steam in the mirror is, how to put this, covered up, and she moves her hand, Julia's gone. She's gone like the wind. Samara took over her body. That's it. Julia's gone like the wind. So Samara took over her body because she was the host for Samara. That's the whole point of the mark on her hand. Of the palm of her hand, like in this area here. So, after that, after the boyfriend finds out what that mark means and rebirth, so Samara is now in Julia's body, and Julia's gone. And simply, this is a deleted scene, and this part is a deleted scene. And sees her face, and should have ended there, but it didn't. So when the boyfriend tries to warn Julia, Samara gives the only warning the whole time in the franchise here. So keep that in mind. She only gives this one warning. Don't look back. And when the boyfriend didn't look back, that's where the movie ended. That should have never happened. And that's where it's done with. In my opinion, that ending fucked up fucked up the good ending where it should have ended. The good ending should have happened where she was in the bathroom after this thing, you see her face, and that was it. I had to go a little bit further in the deleted scene, which was so freaking dumb beyond that point of recognition. In my point of view, points are knocked off because of that reason. Was it a bad film? No. I give it 8.5 because of that bad ending. If the bad ending wasn't there, I give it 9.5, even a 10 even. Because that bad ending was involved, I give it, knock it down 2 points. But at the end of the day, it wasn't a bad film. The actors killed it. It was good all the way to the end. So, in other words, and this was done by a different director, by Ev Shavar Gonzalez. If I said that name wrong, I apologize. I'm not the best speller or pronounce the best names. But long story short, if this bad ending wasn't in this film, it could have been a whole lot better, in my opinion. But it was not a bad film as a whole. So I give it that. And this ends the American version for The Ring franchise here. And for the Grudge franchise here. Now we're going into deep territory for the Japanese version of these films next. And I'll wrap it up here. So, thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of your support. Please subscribe to my channel, which is at History of 2.0. Greatly appreciate it. If you do that, help me go a long way and reach my goal to 100 subscribers. Share my channel to other people that like my content, like I mentioned earlier, for reasons like I mentioned. Share it, like it, all the good stuff. Thank you all for the support, and I will see you all in a few minutes while doing the Ju-On version, aka The Grudge, which was done in 2002.